Wall Street Journal coming out with a new analysis on last week's deadly Gaza hospital blast. After reviewing footage from the area and consulting with experts, the Journal says the blast likely came from a failed rocket that was actually targeting Israel. Hamas immediately blamed Israel for the killing, claiming that more than 470 people were killed, and media outlets quickly parroted that claim. Those reports sparked outrage across the region, including intense protests across the Middle East. Israel later said the rocket was fired by Islamic Jihad and that the death toll was exaggerated. The U.S. government said their intelligence supports Israel's claim. John Bussey is an associate editor at the Wall Street Journal and joins me now. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Sunday afternoon.
Good, Molly.
I want to get right to this kind of remarkable reporting that the Wall Street Journal did. They really dug into this. They geolocated locations in the video and locked the timing together and created essentially a timeline of how things happened. We actually have a graphic we created for the timeline, but at any rate, it essentially captures things unfolding throughout what happened. Your thoughts on this very unique piece of journalism?
Yes, this was done by the Wall Street Journal video team. It's really quite an interesting bit of video forensics on what happened. Basically, what the team did was take 4 different camera shots of that evening, October 17, when the blast happened at the hospital. And these were cameras. One was an Israeli surveillance camera. Another was a handheld video from a passerby. Another was a Al Jazeera news feed that was going on. They were from different directions. And what it captures is a series of rockets being launched toward Israel in the course of the evening. One of those rockets appears to be a long-range rocket. And as you follow it through the 4 different camera angles, you see a flash occur that experts on rocketry say was very likely the motor failing. That rocket clearly goes off course. And instead of heading to Israel, it turns in a direction toward the hospital. And it breaks up in the night sky. And pieces of it fall in a variety of places. A large piece, likely the fuel of the rocket, lands in the courtyard of the hospital. The trajectory is also seen in the impact crater coming from an angle that suggests that it was a rocket. And the depth of the crater also is not something associated with a bomb that might be dropped from a plane, such as those used by Israel, but in fact reflects something much closer to a rocket. And so the videographers really do conclude that the angle of the shot, what happens to this rocket, you see it breaking up in the night sky, falling on the hospital grounds, was in fact a rocket that was shot from Gaza toward Israel that went off course.
Yeah, fascinating analysis done. You know, another aspect of this, though, with the initial headlines that came out trying to place the blame on Israel, the parroting of Hamas's original statements, what made it all the more kind of strange was just that if you look at history, there's a whole UN report that came out in 2021 that talks about the number of rockets that have been fired from the area by Islamic Jihad. They fired 1,100 at Israeli citizens, roughly 200 landing in the Gaza Strip. They've been known to accidentally bomb themselves. So there was a history that could have been looked at as well before these headlines were put out.
That's correct, Molly. 20% of rockets, by the estimate of the United Nations, were misfires of one sort or another. 3 of those, in the course of their analysis, fell on civilians and killed a notable number of civilians in Gaza. So, yes, there was a history of this. I think that the headline writers and the reporters on this were trying to reflect what was going on the ground, what the Palestinians were saying. There was evidently an explosion at the hospital. The Wall Street Journal also got caught out a little bit on this, along with a lot of other media groups. The Palestinians were saying X. There was an evident explosion on the hospital grounds. You report what the Palestinians say, and you continue to report through the night, and you continue to expand the story as your additional reporting comes in. And now I think that not just the United States intelligence services and the Israeli intelligence services, but media groups like the Journal have been able to determine much more clearly what happened. And this seems to have fallen in line with what the United Nations reported on that 1 year in which 20% of rockets shot from Gaza misfired and landed in Gaza.
Yeah, some lessons learned here in these early days of what could be a long conflict. John Bussey, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.